All right, welcome everybody. Thank you so much for coming out tonight. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Andy Egmont, and I have had the pleasure of running youth services for the city of Newburyport for the last 19 years, and I think we've been doing this event for at least 15 of them, which is really great. I will also say, we have a new name, so I still say youth services, but this was a big year for us, and we became the Department of Recreation and Youth Services to help the community understand a little bit more what we've always done, but also to include adult recreation in our programming as well. So a few little changes going on with us, but it's all exciting. So I want to get started for tonight, and thank you all for coming out and welcoming all of our award winners. There are several award winners in the room, and I know that because many of them nominate other people to get the same award. I always say that this is like a secret. Nobody knows about it until you're invited. Somebody is either getting recognized or you yourself is getting recognized. It is a really wonderful night for us to celebrate people being the best people they can be. It is, in its simplest terms, just celebrating who people are, and I think it's every year it can be very moving and very fills me with hope, that's for sure. Reminds me of all the good that's out there in the world. So I want to first thank a few people that we have with us tonight. We have Mayor Sean Reardon. Thank you for coming. We have our former mayor, Donna Holliday, is here. Our City Council President, Ed Cameron. And our Superintendent of Schools, Sean Gallagher. We also have Kim Turner from the Mayor's Office. She's Special Projects Manager and has gotten very involved with us this year as we are working towards a new building for the department. So. I also, before we get started, I want to recognize PortMedia, who's here. They are wonderful partners and have really committed to seeing this event and making it public for people to watch from home. So hi to everybody at home or online or wherever you're watching it from. We also want to thank all of our dessert sponsors. So we have Middle Street Foods, Chococo, Buttermilk Baking Company, the Cookie Jar Kitchen, and Diane's Fine Desserts. Can't have it till it's over. So there's a lot, and it's delicious. So I'm excited for that as well. I also want to recognize my staff. The team that I get the privilege of working with every day is incredible. They go above and beyond, and they also keep me laughing nonstop, which I don't think you can ask for more in a job, really. This event especially, I want to thank Renee, Trish, and Tina. Just give a little thank for putting it together. And then we also have with us tonight, we have Megan, Stacy, Lee, and Tara. Thank you all for everything you do. And lastly, our youth council members. Can you all give a little wave? A number of our young people. They help set up, and they're going to help throughout the night as well. All right. So what are we here for? We're here for asset builders. What is that? When we call people and say, hey, you're getting an award, and they're like, what is it? We're like, it's an asset builder award. What does that mean? For the last nearly 20 years, the city has used a framework of research that's called the 40 Developmental Youth Assets. And they are protective factors for young people. There's 40 of them. The more you have, the less likely you are to partake in any high-risk behaviors. So as a community, we have many sectors who have all worked to try to foster these assets in different ways. If I were to ask you to name what young people name, you would name the 40. They are really just a matter of things that we want for our young people, and some of them are things that we do individually for them. Others are things that as a community we can really foster. And so all of the people here receiving awards are because they are doing something just in being who they are or going above and beyond what is asked of them that really supports young people in the community, either by modeling for them, supporting them, being a good friend, a number of things. We actually, as a community, do a survey We've done it every 2 years where we survey our middle school and high school to get a snapshot of what our youth assets look like in the community. And it's a powerful reminder to us how fortunate we are that we're in a community with a lot of wonderful resources and supports for young people, but there's always areas that we can improve on and help strengthen every day for our kids. So, with that being said, we like to highlight a program each year, since we get you all in here, take advantage of it, and tell you about something that as a department we have focused on this year. And this year we have focused on therapeutic recreation. So let me just get my notes here, because I normally just do this off the top of my head, but I want to make sure I hit all the important points. Okay. All right. So therapeutic rec. We have always, as a department, as a city, been committed to inclusion. Since the day I started running programs as a department of one to now this amazing team, we will do everything in our power to have young people be able to participate in our programs and get whatever needs or accommodations they need to be able to do that. We decided a few years ago that people weren't aware enough that we were willing to do that. It actually started with a meeting with a group of parents who said, well, we don't use your programs because our children have diabetes. And I thought, well, why is that? And they said, well, you don't have nursing. Well, that's something we can do. And at that point, we went to city council and we asked for a line item that gave us ADA accommodation funding. And so now that is part of the city budget that allows us to pay for nursing, one-on-one, or other supports that we need to make sure that kids can participate in our programs. So while we always have been doing it, we really have started branding this idea of therapeutic rec to get the word out to more people that we want to work with them. We want to, get to know their family, figure out what their child needs to be able to come and be successful in our programs. So, am I going the wrong way? All right. Therapeutic rec, everyone benefits from recreation programs, recreation, enrichment, sports, all of the things that fall under our umbrella. They benefit physically, emotionally, and socially. Part of the branding of this as well was that coming out of the pandemic and the isolation that had occurred, some of our young people with special needs especially were deeply affected by the time that they were isolated. And so that also came at the same time because those services had been withdrawn for a lot of people. So we wanted to make sure that families were reaching out and letting us know what we could do. So what kind of special needs are we talking about? We're talking about physical disabilities, the type of accommodations, this for wheelchair users, amputees, neuromuscular disorders, other mobility impairments. For us, we have access through partnerships to be able to get adapted equipment if we need it, if we want it. You'll see a list of partners in a moment. But also, if a family calls us and says, my child really wants to do this program, we need to start looking at the locations we're running. Is it accessible? Are we able to make sure that people are able to participate in it? So that's one type of accommodation that we might make. Intellectual or developmental disabilities. This may look like making age exceptions and having somebody be able to be in a program that they may have aged out of because it's appropriate for them developmentally, or the other way where we may need to provide support so that they can be in a program with their peers. Sensory sensitivities, I think this is a really big one that we are seeing more and more. And for us, a lot of this is just creating a plan for young people, having them know before they need it, who are they going to go to, where can they go to regulate, what are the things that they need to be able to participate, take a break, and then be able to rejoin the group. Other things are behavioral and emotional challenges, communication barriers. We've worked really closely with the schools so that staff have learned how to use some of the adaptive equipment, picture boards, tablets, some of the apps that young people use, and then medical conditions, like I said, diabetes, nursing, other things of that case. So these are all things that I'm hoping you will take this information and share and let other people know. If you have a child and maybe you think, well, my child has anxiety, I don't think that they would do well. It's at least let us try. And we will work with an individual, with a child. We'll take the time and have them be able to come. And we've had a lot of really wonderful successes. So please share this with others. Port Rec is using an inclusion model. So at this point, we don't have the capacity to have a certified therapeutic rec professional on staff. So we have people that we contract and that we work with, and we're able to work to get kids into our programs. And then we work with community partners who are doing more around specialized programming. I'm going the wrong way. This ticket. So here are some of our community partners: the ARC of Greater Haverhill and Newburyport, the Best Buddies program, the Northeast Passage, which is out of UNH. If you're not familiar, they have an amazing therapeutic rec program up there. The early intervention group that services the area, we're starting to work with them so that they can help families find us. And then the schools, and I have to recognize the superintendent. We've been really, really fortunate to be able to have the doors open and work with the schools. We now offer spots in summer programs for kids who are who part of their individual ed plan is summer school for social and emotional needs. They come to camp, which is just so much nicer for them, for us, for their parents. And so that partnership has been really incredible, as well as so many of the aides or supports in school, the one-on-ones, have been willing to work after school for us to give kids consistency in programming, which has been really incredible. Just to touch really briefly, the three main principles that we've been following are making sure that our staff are trained. We did do inclusion or accessibility and adaptability training with Northeast Passage last summer with all of our summer staff. We are constantly learning so many things. By no means are we doing everything we could, but we are trying to learn every single day how to do it. And then really fostering a culture of inclusion. And I think that forming relationships with parents and children, like, first and foremost, has always been our number one priority in this job. But especially so when we're talking to people who have needs or considerations that we want to really work around. Being able to have that relationship with parents and talk about it and have them come to us and say, hey, next time do better. Next time, you know, and be able to like work through it. And it's just really important, and it's been such a positive piece for us. So just a couple to highlight a couple of our couple events that we have started doing. We have a therapeutic rec membership. So when people call and register and they make note of any special needs or considerations that their family may have, we encourage them to fill out our therapeutic rec. It's just gives us a lot more information, and then we can sit and have a one-on-one. We have started sensory-friendly movies over in Salisbury. We've had a couple of those. We have a couple more planned. We had an indoor carnival. Our Touch a Truck event, we now have, for the past several years, done an hour of sensory-friendly, which we get so much positive feedback, because if you've ever hung out at a Touch a Truck with the sirens and the horns, it's enough to make anyone dysregulated. However, it has been really wonderful to have an hour where I didn't even know you can empty the air on air horns on trucks. Now I know. Who knew? But that's been a really big piece. And we've also partnered with an organization called Autism Eats. And we've now hosted 2 nights with them at Michael's. And Autism Eats is basically an event where we go into a restaurant. The food is chosen very particularly, as well as the staff are all trained on what behavior they may see, how to react, anything that they need to know. And it's allowing families who may not feel comfortable going out to a restaurant to go and know that they're in a judgment-free place. And it's been really wonderful for that. So lastly, what does it look like for families? You just register like anybody else and then give us a call. And we will sit down and work with families one-on-one to go through whatever the needs are and do our best, our very best, to try to accommodate whatever the needs may be. So I would love to talk to anybody with questions or any of that after, but I want to get to celebrating all of you and those that you love. So thank you for listening. Okay, so last year, we received a wonderful nomination, and the awardee was out of town. So we said, oh, all right, I guess we'll wait. And well-deserved. We're very excited to be able to celebrate Matt McDermott tonight. So I'm going to invite Chris O'Donnell up.
Hello, everyone. I'm very happy to have nominated my friend Matt McDermott for this award. I am very grateful for Trish. Trish, I've never met you in person. Great to meet you. And Andy and the awards committee for selecting Matt and allowing me to speak on his behalf. When someone signs on as the director of Newburyport Youth Soccer, it's a 2-year commitment. Matt did it for 8 years. If you ask his wife, Charmaine, she might say it was 20, but I'm pretty sure it was 8. Matt served from 2012 to 2020. There's not enough time to list what the Youth Soccer Association accomplished during his time. But a few things I'll mention was the growth of the number of teams in each age group, the addition of an under-18 team, which was for high school players, grades 9 through 12. He raised the money and built and paid for a second regulation-sized field and a snack shack, very important, the proceeds of which benefit the league. And he was able to pay for those things within his tenure. In 2013, they added team sponsors to help defray costs. And that's special because I'm the parent of 2 sons who played youth soccer from, I think, U6 to U18. I think both my guys played. And I don't remember much of a cost increase in every year. So Matt kept it affordable. He always had that in mind. It's got to be affordable. During those 8 years, he navigated through scares like the West Nile virus and Triple E. Remember those things? And maybe the worst, New England weather. And that means Saturday and Sunday mornings of texts and phone calls and rescheduling and referee reassigning and such fun. My co-conspirator in this nomination is a great man named Scott Signori. He gave me a lot of information that I didn't know about what Matt did. Scott is a longtime sponsor and volunteer. His company, Matter Communications, I think they sponsor everything in town. He did a little math, and he estimated that during Matt's tenure, as many as 1,100 players, coaches, and volunteers were involved in the Newburyport Youth Soccer Association in some capacity. And for the smallest city in Massachusetts, that's pretty cool. The sign of a good youth soccer system is evident in its high school programs. I don't remember the last time the Newburyport women had an average team. And I'm talking, I've lived here since 2001. The boys won the program's first 3 Cape Ann League titles, 2020, 21, and 22. And most of us in the room, I'm sure, know what happened in 22. They went undefeated to the Division III state championship. Matt is the father of a state champion. 2 state champions. Sorry, Carly. Yes. They're all Newburyport Youth Soccer Association kids. They're more than kids who play soccer. They are what we like to call footballers. One final note. I grew up in Clifton Park, New York. My old man ran the local CYO and the local Little League for more than 15 years. You cannot take on this kind of commitment without a loving, understanding, wonderful spouse and family. And as much as this is an honor for Matt, it is equally an honor for Charmaine and Cameron and Kellen and Carly. Outstanding players and people. So congratulations to my friend Matt McDermott.
Congratulations. Stay up here for 1 second for this. Renee's going to get a picture. Yep. Yeah, that's what I thought. Did you get your citation? No. We had the citation from last. Oh, it's in the office. We're going to get your citation. Okay. Christine, no, do you want to come up? And so I want to introduce Kristen McDonald from Senator Tarr's office is joining us tonight. We really appreciate you being here. All of the award recipients receive a citation from the State House. So I'm going to have her read one of them to us so that you, so that she doesn't have to read them 14 times tonight. So we'll just read it once and then we'll give it out.
Okay, this is perfect timing. So, hi, I'm Kristen. I'm actually, one of the beauties of my job is the flexibility of the schedule, but the second worst part of my job is the fact that I get thrown into the microphone unknowingly. Fortunate for my boss, Senator Tarr, I was in the State House today, which is never the case. I got to go in, I was excited, drove into the city, the sun was shining. And then he's like, oh, can you just take these citations home? I don't know if I'll be making it. So he just texted me an hour ago, said, you're on. You got mic time. I'm like, this is my nightmare. But working for him, I've learned, I have to say, I was with my cousin getting my car checked when he said, the best part of your boss is he just speaks the truth. And when you speak the truth, it's easy. You don't have to write things down. And that's what I've learned from public speaking, working for a year and a half for the senator. I don't write things down. I speak the truth. I love my job. He is a man that wishes he could be here because he supports all the things that matter. I would honestly say, this is a friend of mine, Matt. Charmaine is a friend of mine. Sean's a friend. Everyone's watching me almost cry. This type of stuff is my whole heart. Never would I have thought I was going to work for a senator, but the fact that I have this boss that feels what I feel, that these are the things that really matter in life, makes me know I'm in the right spot. So I'm with my job, I'm here to present this to Matt. I was here last year, and he wasn't at the event, because where were you? Germany or something? Dubai. I was like, oh, this guy teases me like no one else, and I'm like, oh, I've got to give him an award for him. But one of my favorite families, Charmaine, Matt, their son is with my freshman in college at UMass. They've become best friends, and I feel like because our families are, I like good people. So I'm happy to give this award to my friend Matt. This is not his award, but what he did receive, and he will get later from the office, is an official state citation. This is read that the Commonwealth of Massachusetts State Senate official citation, be it known that the Massachusetts Senate hereby extends its congratulations to Matt McDermott, I don't know it exactly, in recognition of your beautiful nomination of best soccer coach in the Newburyport community for decades by Chris O'Donnell. And be it further known that the Massachusetts Senate extends its best wishes for continued success, that the citation be duly signed by the President of the Senate and attested to and copy of therefore transmitted by the Clerk of the Senate. This is signed by Karen Spilka, the President of the Senate, attested to by our Clerk of the Senate, Michael Hurley, offered up by my boss, Bruce Tarr, dated today, April 25th, 2024. So, very proud. Yeah.
Yeah, no, we got it covered. If you want to just scan them, do that. Okay. All right, they found it. He got it? Fabulous. No, we have to save one for next year. Yes, they're in this. You're good? Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you. Please pass our thanks along to the senator as well. Okay, so this kind of gives you an idea of how this works. Individuals are nominated with a letter by someone who just says, hey, this person is fantastic, and we want to recognize them for who they are. And so we receive a number of nominations every year, and every year we go through and choose the ones that we feel really are, kind of rise to the top. And so we're excited to present the rest of these tonight. Our next winner is Emily Strower. Did I say that right? And you're going to hear a lot about, again, another super volunteer that does so much and has done wonderful things. But you are going to hear her here in the nomination a little bit about the readathon that she has started. And I have to tell you, when we talk about asset building, one of the 40 assets is reading for pleasure. And it has never gone above 25% in the 19 years that I've been here. It's a quarter of our kids read for pleasure. And so anything that we do that is increasing that and raising that, I think is amazing. So I am going to invite Katie Suchecki, another volunteer extraordinaire, to come up and read her nomination for Emily.
Thank you. That was a wonderful intro, and thank you for accepting this nomination for my dear friend Emily. This is very hard for me, and I'm a little emotional, but here we go. If you have children in our Newburyport schools, you have likely had the pleasure of interacting with Emily Stroher. Emily is the face and energy behind many amazing and impactful PTO events. Emily joined the PTO board 3 years ago as a parent rep for preschool at the Bresnahan. Emily made such an immediate and profound impact on the board that within a month, she was offered the role of vice president. Not only is Emily brilliant, but she is filled with energy, passion, creativity, and a love for our schools. Emily is responsible for creating the incredibly successful Readathon fundraiser. It was Emily's goal to create a pledge-based fundraiser to draw in friends and families from near or far to support their young readers. This effort was thoroughly researched by Emily to ensure this was as inclusive as possible and served to encourage all children to read or be read to, and at the same time help the PTO raise funds for the schools. The platform Emily discovered and settled on for the Readathon charged no fees, so 100% of the money raised went to the schools. This has been a huge success, both positively reinforcing those who had already developed a love for reading and helping others discover their love for reading. In addition to the reading component, Emily also came up with the idea to organize a Dress as Your Favorite Character parade. Each grade level was given a banner, which was handmade by Emily, to hold while parading outside the school for family members. Campouts were held in the library by mock campfire and songs were sung. This has become one of the most coveted extracurricular activities for our children. During Emily's second year on the board, her experience as a special educator led her to present her idea of sensory sensitive times, a little bit of what Andy talked about earlier. The idea was to allow those children with sensory sensitivity to also be able to take part in the events that they normally may not be able to. For example, Emily arranged to have certain programs or activities open doors early for those children affected to allow them a slower and quieter start to the activity. Parents were incredibly grateful to have their children feel like they could enjoy the same activities as the other students simply during a quieter time and in a less stimulating setting. Okay, the next part is where I get a little emotional. I met Emily only 3 years ago, but she is one of those people that you know is special immediately. She is intelligent, creative, kind, and passionate. She is a joy to be around and always makes people feel important, heard, and welcomed. Emily volunteers tirelessly despite having 2 young children. Without Emily, the PTO would not have become what it has evolved into over the past few years and would not have raised nearly the amount of money for the schools that we were able to raise. It is for these and many other reasons that Emily is an asset to our community. Emily brings her energy, joy, compassion, and problem-solving ability to everything she does. In addition to her role on the PTO, first and foremost, Emily is a mother to 2 amazing kids, Lila and Ben, and an incredible wife to Nick. Incredible wife to her husband, Nick. Emily does it all with grace and unmatched energy. She truly is a champion to our board, to our community, and to her family. So proud of you. So happy to know you. Thank you.
I love when people cry. In a good way, you know what I mean. It gives you all the feels. I am very excited. Our next award is going to 3 families. I'm going to invite Kim Turner to come up. And what, did I change the order? It's okay, come on up. Oh, no, we did. We had to change the order for another reason, so yes. So please, come join us, Kim. And actually, for this one, I think, why don't we have, when we're done, I'm going to ask everyone in the families to come up, okay? Just so you all know. Yeah, well, if you don't want to, you don't have to, but if you want to, we'd love for you to come up. So I'm going to turn this over, and this award is going to the Inclusive Playground Support Group, which is made up of 3 families, and Kim's going to tell you all about it.
Great, thank you so much, and thanks for this great night. What an amazing experience for the city to see such wonderful award winners. So the Inclusive Playground Support Group had a vision. In 2018, the Edwards, the Farrells, and the LeBlancs approached the city with a dream to build Newburyport's first universally accessible playground. They're a group of parents of special needs children who dreamed that their kids could have an outdoor playground experience that was as vibrant and fun as all of their peers. They also understood that playground time is a valuable way to foster social connections among children while enjoying fresh air and physical activity. This group not only fundraised for a portion of the playground, but they also spent countless hours advocating for this playground to be built. And I'm honored that I was able to help them achieve their goal and work with them to see this playground built. It is such a tremendous addition to the city and is teeming with children every single day of the week. Every day. Unlike traditional playgrounds, accessible features of this playground are integrated throughout the play space. The purpose of the playground is not to segregate children of varying levels of ability, but to integrate them, so every child can explore, play, and socialize together. It is a goal we should strive for in every aspect of our kids' lives every single day. And I want to thank these 3 families for having the tenacity and the vision to advocate so tirelessly for this project to happen. Thank you.
So we are going to congratulate and welcome up the Edwards family, the Farrell family, and the LeBlanc Young family. I told my staff I didn't feel like I was on my game today, and this shows it. So 2 things. I want to take a moment. Normally before that award, we take a moment to reflect on this special award that is. So those 3 families were just recognized with the Linda Mae Lucas Award for Excellence. And Linda Mae was a community member who, every year I get teary, I can't. She was an amazing mother who paved the way for her own children and advocated for everyone else's children. She she did it with humor and she did it with love, and she would be so happy to see that playground. And she would tell everyone here, let's not make people advocate for their own children. Let's all be advocating for every project that comes to be accessible as they come down the road. So just, I want to recognize in her name how proud she would be of all of the work that you've done as well. So thank you. Okay. Our next, we got 2 nominations this year, and we said, you know what, let's do them together. We think that this is quite the dynamic duo. We hear about it all the time, that these 2 guys together are really have brought in a new sport to, I don't want to say a new sport to town, that sounds silly, but you're gonna hear, you'll know what I'm talking about. So I am gonna invite up, Lucia is gonna be reading one of the nomination letters for us, and then Katie Banovic is also. Katie, can you come up? Thank you. Scott Ewell and Gabe Casper have been flipping the town upside down. Do you get it? They're wrestling coaches. That was, I'm going to hand it off so you can hear the amazing things that they've done.
I first met Scott when he was coaching a young Afghan boy that I was driving to soccer. I had the opportunity to watch Scott in action as he coached the Gulls, a team of 4th grade boys. Scott approached each game with high expectations, a positive attitude, and a calm manner. He modeled good sportsmanship and created an environment where young athletes could learn and grow. The boys grew as athletes, but more importantly, learned to work as a team. When the season was over, Scott reached out to this boy and his brother, asking if they would like to join River Rival Wrestling. He made it possible for both boys to participate, organizing rides, finding them appropriate uniforms, and communicating with their family. During the wrestling season, Scott created the same positive, supportive environment that I had observed with his soccer team. Scott actively supports youth in this community. In a world where sports can be toxic and where young athletes are often given the wrong message, Scott works to foster self-esteem and encourage teamwork while also having high expectations. He goes above and beyond to provide opportunities for young athletes in Newburyport, and he does it in a quiet way without drawing attention to himself. He is definitely a person who is building strong assets in this community.
Hi, I get the privilege of introducing Gabe Casper, another one of the coaches, so get ready for more wrestling talk. If you've met Gabe, then you'll understand why he should win one of these awards tonight. He is all about supporting the youth and community in Newburyport. He's a dedicated nurse practitioner that has lived in Newburyport for the past 9 years. In 2014, he began coaching youths. They range from 4th to 8th grade. It's an all-volunteer, nonprofit wrestling club, the River Rival. He became the assistant coach in 2022, and to say that he is extremely dedicated is an understatement. When listening to Gabe speak about the kids he works with, it's very clear that he brings more to his team than strategy and pep talks. He embodies acceptance, inclusivity for all abilities, races, and genders, excellent sportsmanship, and respect. He sees each child and somehow figures out a way to let them know that he recognizes their unique qualities and that he will support them however he can. And I also know this because I have 2, they're kind of grown-up daughters, teens and 20s, that have both turned to Gabe for desperate advice or help at one time or another without hesitation. Let's see. Several of the Afghan students that are part of our town have participated in the club, as you just heard, and have had Gabe as one of their coaches. This year, Gabe had the idea himself to take a number of them to a wrestling gym run by a couple that Gabe knew could connect to the kids in a way that he couldn't. One of the owners is of Iranian descent and could speak a little bit to the kids in their own language. And all the kids left with a new sense of belonging and inspiration, and so did Gabe. We heard all about it. It was really awesome. And we don't know many people that would go above and beyond like him. He manifests respect without intimidation. He has this magical ability to be both the most excited and enthusiastic person in the room and also like really calm at the same time. I don't know what that magic is, but as a neighbor, he's always ready to pop over to someone's house to see how they are after a surgery, help them move furniture, or answer strange medical questions on a Sunday night. And so that's pretty much it. And I know that you're all wishing he was your neighbor too, but too bad, he's my neighbor. So that's Gabe.
I heard early on somebody had said to me, oh, there's some guys starting wrestling. This isn't a wrestling town. I beg to differ. If you saw how many kids have come out to get involved, it has really taken off. It's amazing. All right. Is this fun? I love it. I love it. I'm very excited. Our next, I don't actually know that we've had an award like this in the past. So this is an award for an outstanding young person who was nominated by 3 or 4, I think 4 of her friends. So they are all going to come up and tell you what makes her so incredible. Can I invite up Georgia, Hadley, Benjamin, and Raylan? And Trisha? Come on up. So this award is going to Ryan Feener, who I personally have to give a shout out that I feel is highly deserving of this, not just as a member of Youth Council, but she's also become a very strong advocate for the department at city council meetings and pushing for a new youth center. She's been an incredible part of that process as well. Ready?
Hi, I'm Georgia. I want to nominate Ryan because she has helped me through so much and has helped me find my sense of identity. In 6th grade, when I lost a really good friend of mine, we had been friends for about 6 years and we had a fight. She was there for me and helped me pick up the pieces and form new relationships with people. I'm not going to go into details, but from the time she met me to when I finally left the knock, she would help me navigate losing around 3 really good friends, 2 who joined in bullying me, and getting bullied for random things nonstop for years. Ryan is also just generally a really good person. Like I said, she has helped me through so much, and she has helped me find my sense of identity. She's helped me come out of my shell and be who I am and not care what others think of me. There have been various instances where I'm really nervous about something, and she doesn't hesitate to offer advice or help for whatever it is. Another instance of positive identity is how whenever she meets someone or a new person joins youth council, she doesn't judge them at all and immediately wants to be their friend. And for me, that's really important because I struggle to make friends. Honestly, without Ryan helping me to figure out who I am and helping me through hard times, I don't know where I'd be right now. I might never have found youth council. I probably wouldn't be saying this right now. Lastly, I really want to add that Ryan's just a really good person. She's kind, funny, smart, and listens to you, and is just overall one of my favorite people to be around and spend time with. I couldn't imagine life without her, so for all those reasons and so many more that I couldn't put into words is why I think Ryan deserves this award.
Hi, I'm Hadley, and I nominated Ryan for this Asset Award because she's always been there for everyone in her life. She's been there for everyone in Youth Council and outside of it, through everything that we've been through and done. She was one of the first people I looked up to and is and will always be one of my role models. She looks after all of us and accepts who we are without any hesitation. one of the first people I came out to because I knew she would accept me with open arms. She supported everyone she meets in whatever way she can, even if it's help on homework, advice, or just a hug. She is one of the reasons I have some of my friends and I am in youth council.
Hi, I'm Benjamin Marchand, her brother. And I believe that Brian should receive an Asset Award for her outstanding work helping the Youth Council of Newburyport. She has been a tremendous source of support and has helped with all of the projects we've done, including a voiceover of the plans for the new youth services building and the dances that we run and the other projects. She's also been there for all of my friends, including Hadley and Georgia. And that's why I think she should receive this Asset Award.
Hi, I'm Patricia McConnell. I'm reading in place of, sorry. Hi, I'm Patricia McConnell. I'll be reading in place of Raylan today because she can't make it, sadly. Ryan's an amazing peer and always willing to help anyone in need anywhere in the community, no matter what she needs or what she's doing at the time. Ryan is a very uplifting, positive, and reassuring person who has made a big impact on all of us. Ryan is also always prepared and is always thinking of others by having extra things like stationery for youth council. She participates in many activities within the rec and is never a sore loser and tries to make others feel better if things didn't go their way. So for all those reasons and so many more that cannot be put into words is why we truly and strongly believe that Ryan Feener deserves to be presented with this chocolate bar and also win the Asset Award for Positive Identity.
Come on up. Come on up, Brian. Congratulations.
Sarah.
Okay, good. Why don't you all come over in front of the table? Thank you all. This is very, very sweet and speaks volumes, Ryan, about the friend that you are to everyone. It's really a wonderful reminder that sometimes we can just tell our friends that they're great friends and that we appreciate them. And I know it makes me want to call a couple of my friends and let them know as well. Our next award is going to a member of the high school staff. Every year we get nominations for teachers, and we always say, are they being nominated because they're just a really good teacher? Or are they being nominated for who they are? And I have had the pleasure of working with Carly Fair for, how long have you been there? 15 years? 11 years? Yeah, a long time now. And she is truly one of those staff people who go above and beyond, and who they are and is who they are in their nature is amazing. So I am going to invite Georgia, you're going to read this one for us? And are we keeping this anonymous? Okay, so we have, this is an anonymous, because we don't want to break anyone's privacy, and so Georgia's going to read the nomination letter.
As a parent of the alumni of Newburyport High School, I would like to nominate Carly Fair for the Asset Builder Award. Carly worked with my daughter to help her through some of the most difficult days of high school, with her amazing ability to connect with teens and make them feel comfortable, supported, safe, and heard. She is a navigator and a guide, always offering unconditional kindness. Carly advocated for my daughter to receive the help she needs and created a safe haven that my daughter could go to relieve her stress and anxiety. She helps students build the skills they need to work through difficult situations and accommodate to the ever-changing landscape of peer relationships. We are so very lucky to have Carly on our support team. She's an amazing person that truly cares about her job. She builds teens up to make them the best versions of themselves.
I know we did make a change in the schedule. So we had some people who were coming in. So I don't want anyone to think that I forgot Mateus. We're getting there. Okay? Make sure. Our next award is a really special one for me to be a part of. Again, we give 2 special awards. We don't give them every year. One year, some years we give them, some years we don't. It really depends on the nominations that come in. But we started we did the Linda Mae Lucas in her honor after she passed. And then we found that we had people in the community who were really champions for young people in really powerful ways, and focus especially on preventing high-risk behaviors and other things. So I am going to invite Beth Tremblay Hall up to read a wonderful nomination for our former Mayor Donna Holliday and everything that she was able to accomplish, adding to that list supporting Youth Services Department and its director for 12 years, actually longer, city council before that. All right, here she comes. Hi, Beth.
Thank you. All right, I hope Andrea will lean over me and adjust the mic if that needs to happen. First of all, I want to just let people know that I was supposed to be up here with another friend of ours, Deborah Andrews, who couldn't make it this evening. So I'm here for 2 people, not just me. As a city councilor, Donna recognized the value of building Youth Services Department and fully supported Mayor Clancy and the Youth Commission's efforts to create a department with a focus on building a healthier community for our youth. Our city was experiencing trauma in the early 2000s due to a series of significant incidences involving youth and alcohol and drugs. As a result, Mayor Clancy established a task force where Donna helped to organize key stakeholders, eventually leading to the creation of the Beacon Coalition. Through their grant writing efforts and networking, federal funding awarded through the Drug-Free Communities grants allowed for these 40 developmental assets to come to our community. This is, from my point of view, these 40 assets are infused into our community now in so many ways. Education and prevention activities were regularly developed and included broad community involvement with strong support by Councilor Holliday, including social host liability, underage purchasing of serving liquor, mental health needs, opiate and heroin rises, and the list goes on and on. She continued her support in many ways through her 12 years as mayor. As you know, Mayor Holliday put a great deal of effort into getting the Bresnahan Elementary School built, along with the renovations to Knock and Mullen. These projects also brought a major infusion of technology with our teachers and students that are doing so many amazing things with that tech today. She also worked hard to ensure our award-winning athletes and teams got new fields that were installed across our city. Spending time with students is always a favorite for Donna. Whether reading to a class, helping a student with civic projects, giving tours of City Hall with mock city council meetings, or providing letters of recommendations for college and internships and employment. Donna has always enjoyed these interactions. Donna's commitment to others has always gone beyond her official capacities. She taught Sunday school for 19 years and thoroughly enjoyed it. She has demonstrated her commitment to youth and people with disabilities in a number of ways. She was a volunteer guardian for an adult with special needs for many years, hosted Sandra at holidays, taking her to theater, and being a supportive guardian and a friend. It's easy for me to brag about my good friend. Our friendship began with our mutual concern for the youth in our community. I would like to welcome the Honorable Donna Mayer Holliday. I think that she wants to say a few words, if that's okay.
Thank you so much. As Andy said, you do get emotional at these things. But as you can see, over the last 19 years since I first met Andy Egmont and the work that she has continued to build in our community for youth and now will be for adults with recreation, it has been invaluable. And now it's time. It took us 2.5 years, my administration, to work with the National Guard to get the building on Low Street for youth services. It's time. It's time that we build this facility to give all of our youth the kind of space they deserve and not be in satellite programs all over the city. So please reach out to city councilors. I know Mayor Reardon is very supportive of the youth site, but we really do need this facility. So I'm just asking that people step up and try and help make this happen. And thank you so much. This award means a lot to me. Thank you.
Okay. All right. We have come to our last award of the night, which we're very excited for. This is our second amazing young person who is being recognized this evening. And we have two folks that are going to come up. So Marsha Waterhouse, who nominated Mateus, and we also have Juliana Cuddy, who is going to translate to make sure that his family is able to hear the nomination in their own language.
Hello, I'm Marsha Waterhouse. I've been a recess monitor at the Bresnahan Elementary for over 5 years. In that time, I have had the pleasure of meeting many, many children. There are quite a few that have stood out to me over the years for being excellent school citizens, but none has caught my attention like my nominee, Mateus de Souza.
Olá, eu sou Marsha Waterhouse. Sou monitora do recreio na escola elementária Bresnahan há mais de 5 anos. Nesse período, tive o prazer de conhecer muitas crianças. Alguns que se destacaram para mim por serem excelentes cidadãos escolares, mas nenhum me chamou a atenção como o meu indicado, Mateus de Souza.
I am not a teacher. I don't spend any time in the classroom. All my interactions are at lunch or recess. Over these last few years, getting to know Mateus, I can attest to his character. He is very aware of his friends and other people in his recess group. I have seen him calmly ask a classmate, "Are you okay?" Or him offering encouragement such as, Can we start over with no arguments? We are wasting recess time. That's my personal favorite. It comes from a beautiful place. He has a strong voice, but speaks quietly.
Eu não sou professora. Não passo nenhum tempo na sala de aula. Todas as minhas interações são no almoço ou no recreio. Ao longo destes últimos anos, conhecendo Mateus, posso atestar do seu caráter. Ele está muito atento aos seus amigos e outras pessoas do grupo do recreio. Eu ouvi perguntar calmamente a um colega de classe: "Você está bem?" Ou ele oferecendo incentivo como: "Podemos começar de novo sem discussões? Estamos desperdiçando o recreio com isso." Este é o meu favorito. Vem de um lugar lindo. Ele tem uma voz forte e fala baixo.
When he is aware of a new Portuguese-speaking student at the Bresnahan, whether he knows them or not, he offers to help with language. He translates for me, the kids, and others. It's fascinating and it's empowering. He has been a big part of explaining rules to recess games. I have seen him lead by example in the nicest way. He is a friendly, respectful, and has come so far at 9 years of age. He's a remarkable young man.
Quando conhece novo aluno de língua portuguesa na Bresnahan, quer o conheça ou não, oferece-se para ajudar com a língua. Ele traduz para mim, traduz para as crianças e para os outros. É fascinante e fortalecedor. Ele tem desempenhado um papel importante na explicação das regras dos jogos do recreio. Eu vi liderar pelo exemplo da melhor maneira possível. Ele é amigável, respeitoso e chegou tão longe aos 9 anos de idade. Um jovem notável.
When his brother, Kwan, came to school, Mateus checked on him regularly. He let me know right away that his brother was here and we were going to look out for him. Little brother is doing great and smiles a lot. One interaction that I won't forget is when he asked if I had any extra gloves. I gave him a pair of the many we have on hand. He thanked me and said that he would bring them back tomorrow. I said not to worry. We have many. He brought them back the next day, clean and dry. He thanked me again. It sticks with me. That was early last school year as a second grade student, and he's even a kinder third grade student.
Quando seu irmão Cauã veio para a escola, Mateus o checava regularmente. Ele me avisou imediatamente que seu irmão estava aqui e que estávamos cuidando dele. O irmão mais novo está ótimo e sorri muito. Uma interação que não esquecerei foi quando ele me perguntou se eu tinha luvas extras. Dei a ele um par dos muitos que temos nas mãos. Ele me agradeceu e disse que os traria de volta amanhã. Eu disse para não se preocupar, temos muitos. Ele os trouxe de volta e no dia seguinte, limpos e secos. Ele me agradeceu novamente. Isso fica comigo. Isso foi no início do ano letivo passado, como aluno da 2ª série. Ele é um aluno da 3ª série e ainda mais gentil.
So Mateus, if you want to come up and get your award, you can. If you want to bring any of your family up, you can too. Okay.
Would you like me to tell the parents to come?
also, if we can give a round of applause and thank Juliana for coming and doing this. I don't know if you all know it, but we have a major shortage in translators. So if you know anybody, let us know. We have a company that we work with, and they were not able to provide a translator. And so Ms. Cuddy was able to jump in, and we really appreciate it. Thank you so much. I end this award the same way every year, which is, again, thanking everyone for coming, but really remembering that everything that we do every day affects the people around us. And as we're looking to support young people, it can be as simple as just saying hello on the street, asking somebody how they are, because we never know what day somebody feels invisible. And sometimes just by acknowledging them, we can change things, change the path that they're on that day. So I encourage you all to go out and take all of this positivity and spread it around and share it. We take nominations every year, and so people, if you're leaving here and you're thinking, hey, I know I have somebody I want to nominate, tell Trish, with the and she'll make a note of it. We'll remind you next year. Thank you all so much for coming. We have some wonderful desserts on both sides, so please make sure you help yourself. And congratulations. We're going to ask the award winners to come up for one group photo, and everyone else, please help yourself. Thank you so much.